Hello Nigerians, my name is Benjamin Agbile and this is the newspaper review here on TAP TV where we bring you newspaper headlines and hit the street to hear what Nigerians how they have to say about today's headline. But before we hit the street today, we'll be reading newspaper headlines for today. I will be starting with the Punch newspaper. On the bold headline here says, subsidy. Federal government may suspend 236 billion naira monthly on imported Dangote petrol. The details of this will be found on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. Banditry. Zamfara governor report defense minister to NSA. The details of this will be found on page 20 of the Punch newspaper. CBN. Banks sell $9 billion as naira weakens to 1,670 per dollar. The details of this will be found on page 24 of the Punch newspaper. Edo APC dismisses poll fraud. Police recover stolen BVAs. The details of this will be found on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. New interest rate may worsen bad loans. OPS. The details of this will be found on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. Kanu court drama as judge steps down. The details of this will be found on page 27 of the Punch newspaper. Federal government explains minimum wage, July 29 back pay. The details of the will be found on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. Suspected diesel thief dies inside tank in Rivers. The details of this will be found on page 4 of the Punch newspaper. Works begin on federal government 2025 budget. The details of this will be found on page 7 of the Punch newspaper. Lastly, here we have the nations. The boy headline say NNPCL Dangote refinery rages over price of petrol. The details of it be found on page 2 of the nations. Third judge withdraws from Kanu's trial amid drama. The details of it be found on page 4 of the nations. Raising interest rates, best way to battle inflation, says Cardoso. The details of it be found on page 4 of the nations. Abia to begin payment of minimum wage next month. NDDC inaugurates committee on next year budget. The details of it be found on page 28 of the nations. Tinubu seeks debt forgiveness for development nations. The details of it be found on page 2 of the nations. FCT teachers strike. Resolution not in sight, says NUT. The details of it be found on page 3 of the nations. APC lashes Yaga Africans for subjective reports on Edo poll. The details of it be found on page 2 of the nations. Monarchs assure Tinubu of support for Niger Delta development. The details of it be found on page 28 of the nations. And that will be all for newspaper headlines today. Let's hit the street to hear what Nigerians out here have to say. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
So we can see on the Punch newspaper headline here. On the bold headline here says, federal government may spend 236 billion naira monthly on imported Dangote petrol. Why? And Dangote refinery is here in Nigeria. Why are they still spending so much money importing Dangote petrol again?
Obviously, I am so surprised in this kind of news headline that I just got now, because I don't expect this kind of headline to be captured in Nigerian newspaper, because it is a shame to we Nigerians that Dangote is a citizen of Nigeria. Then Nigeria is also trying to also import Dangote's fuel for what? It doesn't make sense. Adibin is importing fuel from other countries. I would have suggested, okay, that's fine, but this one, our own fuel again. In fact, why would a citizen even sell a fuel to a country? That's another question I have to ask. A citizen selling fuel for a country. I was supposed to think that a country is supposed to have financial control over a citizen. How come a citizen now is even having financial control over a country? That means that Nigeria, we are not even going anywhere. So for the capturing, I don't even want to talk about it because this is annoying. Thank you so much.
Okay, before a very quick question before you go. We are seeing that NNPC on this. If we read this headline very well, NNPC say they are buying the fuel originally. Original cost is 898 naira. You understand? So if Dangote is producing 50 million liters of this PMS, why is the price still very high?
Well, for his price, he's a marketer. But the issue is just that NNPC is not supposed to buy from Dangote and not sell to the masses. Is either they allow the masses, the NNPC to sell directly to the masses. Because if they sell directly to the masses, then the price of the fuel will not be that high to the masses. But if NNPC should buy from Dangote, they also influence their own price. They want to make profit. This is business. If I buy something from you, I want to sell it to others. I want to make profit from it. So I will urge, or I will ask Dangote to sell directly to the masses, to the marketers, rather than selling to the NNPC, because if you should sell to NNPC, NNPC will also put their own price. Like, it's a business, they want to make profit. They want to make profit from it. So it's the masses now that is suffering from it. So that will not go well, because the price of the fuel from the marketers now will be high to the citizens. We're already complaining of the high increase in fuel, which has also affected different economic activities, because most of our activities depending on fuel. We need, look at transportation now, so high. Going to Aba now or going to Akwa Ibom now, you spend close to 7,000 naira going to Akwa Ibom, while previously it's something of 2,500. So the hack in fuel, increase in price of fuel will also cause increase in other commodities in the country. Thank you so much.
Talking about, you made mention of Nigeria is supposed to have a financial authority over its citizens. It looks like Nigeria these days. Recently, we have some people that are above the law now. You understand? We can look at it in the aspect of the politics. The likes of Nyesom Wike, the likes of people say things and get away with it these days. Don't you think some people are becoming above the law?
Nigerian politics is different from other politics. In Nigerian politics, anything can go. This is a country where the rule of law does not stand on its own. Normally, the rule of law is supposed to be a law that is above every other law. You understand? Everybody is supposed to be under the law, not above the law. So for this case now, it has to do with godfatherism and who is in control.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So we can see on the Punch newspaper here, on the front headline here, it says subsidy. Federal government may spend 236 billion naira monthly on imported Dangote petrol. And they said for the past few weeks, Dangote have produced 50 million liters of fuel. So why are we spending this much importing Dangote fuel, which we know that Dangote refinery is in this country?
Actually, for me, we had the notion that Dangote fuel would be locally produced. So when we say imported, it's kind of strange to us that Dangote fuel is being imported. And federal government having to spend the sum of 236 billion on importing Dangote fuel. What's the difference with what we are currently facing? You know, at the moment, Nigeria is passing through turmoil. This is beyond what we can imagine. There were times we thought we were suffering, but at the moment we are seeing the real suffering. So to me, it doesn't go well. Nigeria having to spend this much on Dangote fuel. Somehow, there are some persons that had the perspective that Dangote fuel is another scam. Because some person perceive that he is a monopoly, where he wants to monopolize the market. So having to spend this much goes a long way to prove that the integrity we thought Dangote would exhibit with regards to building a refinery. Nigeria had left to just mourn.
So another question here. The NNPC, they are insisting on them being the one to buy this fuel from Dangote refinery to sell to other companies. So what do you think about this?
The truth is, Nigeria, we said we are fighting corruption, and yet we are encouraging corruption. We should allow other people to be able to make purchase of this, so that we'll have them readily available in the market. But when one person or one company is allowed, given the entitlement to buy and sell, then we will still be left at the mercy of their hands.
So another very quick question before you go. When we heard about Dangote refinery, we thought maybe if this
would be a super.
Yes, if it start working, we will see fuel maybe at the rate of 600, 500 and something. But NNPC are buying this fuel at the rate of 898 naira from Dangote. Don't you think it's still on the higher side?
Extremely on the higher side.
Okay.
Because the hope of the common man was that Dangote fuel would be sold at 200 or 300 at worst. But having NNPC to go and purchase at the rate of 800 and above, then what is our hope there? Nigeria, we are solidly calling on our leaders. We need help. The people, if you look around, you can see the number of persons that are trekking, the number of persons that are no longer driving their cars. Why? Because they can't afford the fuel any longer. So we are calling on the government to come to our aid, to come to the aid of the masses. That's the reason we elected them into that office. So if they are there, they should look at the plight of the common man. And fuel is the number one commodity, which once fuel goes up, every other thing goes up.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, you have here what Nigerians out here have to say about today's headlines. You also can be part of this program. Slide into our comment section, like, subscribe for more information like this one. Thanks for watching. My name is Benjamin Agbile, and I'm your host for today.